Alright, what's up, gang? I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart. I've been passionate about this topic for a couple years now. It's not fight related, but I got to talking to a buddy at work about it tonight that I hadn't talked to before. Oops, I don't know how. I had something on the screen, accidentally flipped it. All right, here we go. So, to give it some context, probably 5 or 6 years ago, I live about an hour from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've been to the Memphis Zoo several times, so I follow them on social media and stuff like that. And I wake up one morning, and the Memphis Zoo is having a special exhibit involving dinosaurs. You can bring your kids to the zoo, and then there's a special area where they got like these dinosaur robots. Like, it looks like a dinosaur, but it'll actually move around and roar and stuff and whatever. But the display picture for the link to go and get tickets or view the exhibit a little, get an ID, get more information, is a picture of, I'd call like a velociraptor. You know, if we've seen Jurassic Park, like that kind of build. If I got the name wrong, I'm sorry. Don't know my dinosaurs that well. Like, there's a bazillion of them. But it's covered in fucking feathers like a peacock. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? Why are there feathers on a dinosaur? I'm just going to keep going with the story, and I'll come back to my analytics on it. So I do what any other person would do. I tell my friends about it. I get to work, and I tell one of my smarter friends, you know, like, we've got friends that are dumb as rocks, and we got friends that are geniuses. There's a wide range of people. I go to one of my more reasonable friends. Well, it just happens we're sitting down at lunch or something together, and I tell him about it, and I show him the picture as I'm telling him. And he's like, yeah, you didn't know? It's like, what do you mean I didn't know? What are you talking about? He's the same age as me. We didn't go to school together, but it's like I kind of have a general idea of what the American education system is because I grew up in it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And as we're sitting there, other people join us for lunch, you know, and the crowd grows. Everyone in this group, and then over the next course of really years, it hasn't been until the past year I've kind of gotten people to understand where I'm coming from. Everyone acts like they knew that dinosaurs had feathers. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And they don't act shocked by seeing it, and they don't find a problem with it. And they're like, and they start trying to, like, I don't mean it like they're trying to necessarily make it personal, but these humans do this all the time. They sort of try to one-up me, like act like they had it figured out. And they'll be like, well, in Jurassic Park, it was just a movie. And they start tying in all these details. There's one fucking problem, and this is how I've gotten people to see what I'm saying. Dinosaurs are defined as fucking reptiles. When we grew up, they were defined as fucking reptiles. That is very, very important. Reptiles don't have fucking feathers. There's very distinct descriptions and attributes to every fucking kingdom in the animal species. Reptiles are cold-blooded, have scaly skins. They don't have fucking feathers. So there's a major fucking problem in communication here we seem to have. Now, in one conversation, I get to talking to this lady, and she's like, well, you're being a little too technical, you know, some might have and some might not. And what she's attempting to do is justify the looseness of words. And she's like, well, you know, if we discovered some dinosaurs that had some feathers and some that didn't, you know, they might not all be in the same cat. Then they're not all the fucking same, are they? Then that's two different words, and you got to invent two different words, don't you? You got to actually put some fucking thought into it. You can't just say, oh, these are all one thing. And here's why. Here's why. And this is the progress I've made in the past year in getting people to understand this. So it's like, oh, no big deal. They're fucking dinosaurs with reptiles. Reptiles might have feathers, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't work that way because you have to build off a foundation of learning in anything you do. So right now, if you go and look at the fucking Smithsonian, like, and look up dinosaurs, and look up the history of dinosaurs and the descriptions and everything, and then you go to like National Geographic, you're going to get two different fucking stories. You're going to get two different descriptions from two sources that most people would consider reliable. So you got two different tales going on. What you don't got going on is ownership of not knowing. So if it's possible, let's say it's possible that we found some animals or whatever that might have had feathers and we haven't figured it out, and then we've got some that don't, and they're what we're calling dinosaurs. None of them are owning up to being like, hey, we thought this, but it might be this. Here are both examples. Here's where we're at. We're trying to figure it all out. It's basically doing the same thing politics do, like how we have this two-party system, but I don't see the point in it. And I'm going to make this a little more interesting. So in the past year, as I finally got my words together where I could articulate and be like, they're reptiles. Reptile has a definition. You build off learning. So when you just go back and change the fucking foundation, you're not learning anymore. You're just creating fucking chaos. You're not creating any progress and discovery. I get to looking into where these feathers came from because they'd never been talked about in my whole fucking life until I woke up and see that post from Memphis. I'm like 30 years old when that happens. I start digging around. This has been going on for years, trying to figure it out. From what I can tell, I'm wanting to say it was China. I want to say it was a country or a region in China or a country in Asia. I could be wrong. I can't remember exactly because it's been like 6 months since I was reading about it or even talked about this until earlier today. But it's like there's an area where people go to excavate. They go and they try to dig up dinosaur bones over in Asia, this area. And it's real popular or whatever. Not everyone that goes there is going to be digging bones or be a paleontologist, you know what I mean? They might just have interest. They might be there for different reasons, whatever. So you're going to have tourism. You're going to have shops set up for tourism. And there was this one guy that I guess he was pretty reliable with, he would find stuff, smaller items, and he would sell them to the public instead of giving them to a museum or whatever. And apparently he found something and rigged it up with a feather. And National Geographic, one of their reporters bought it and turned it into a fucking story. And then instead of National Geographic taking ownership of the fucking stuff, being like, hey, we fucked up, and one of our reporters bought a fucking trinket of tourism from a guy and then believed the story from it, and now we've created... They just act like it didn't happen. We just act like it didn't happen. And the carryover of what they did is how we now have all these fucking dinosaurs. It's the same with like that female boxer, Ahmed Khalif or whatever. You have one motherfucker fuck up. The IBA does something stupid. They get to run in their mouth saying shit that's not true. The whole media jumps on it. And now we're still this day got people running around being all pissed off about that because somebody lied and made a mistake. It's crazy. This world is freaking crazy. Like, you can't trust anyone. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on dinosaurs with feathers. I know it has nothing to do with MMA, but be sure to share your thoughts, like and subscribe if you can relate. Man, this is the War Lab. We figured this out. I call out Fugazi crap when I want to call out Fugazi crap. If something's fake, it's fake. Catch wrestling is fake, baby. Ah! Y'all have a good one.